All right, so we did our presentation on unemployment, and this project is by Brett, Greg, Nate, Roderick, Sean, Gabe, and Logan.
Who is considered unemployed? The unemployment population is the potential workers minus the employed workers. Potential workers are everyone in the population except for children under the age of 16, active military, and institutionalized people. The labor force can be split up into three categories: employed, which is people with a full-time job or a part-time; unemployed, which is no job but are looking for one; and then not in the labor force, which is people with no job and are not looking for one.
Okay, so the first two types of unemployment are structural and cyclical. Structural unemployment is a longer lasting form of unemployment caused by fundamental shifts in an economy and made worse by technology, competition, and government policy. The workers lack the required job skills or live too far from regions where the jobs are available and can't move closer. It can last for decades and usually requires a radical change to reverse. If structural employment is not addressed, it can increase the unemployment rate long after the recession is over and increase the natural rate of unemployment. Cyclical unemployment is the impact of economic recession or expansion on the total unemployment rate. It generally rises during recession and falls during economic expansion. Result of business not having enough demand for labor to employ all those who are looking for work at a point within the business cycle.
The next two types of unemployment are frictional and seasonal. Frictional unemployment is the result of voluntary employment transitions in the economy. Frictional unemployment is naturally occurring in any economy, whether it is good or bad. An example of frictional unemployment is workers leaving their current job to find better pay or just new workers entering the workforce. An advantage of frictional unemployment is that business owners have more qualified and a bigger selection of workers to choose from because these workers are seeking better positions. Seasonal unemployment is based off of the time period when demand for labor is lower than normal. Seasonal unemployment is usually temporary and will revert back to normal after a short period of time. An example of this would be farmers yielding crops would be seasonally unemployed during the winter. The effects of unemployment beyond our economy. Unemployment obviously is extremely detrimental to the success of our economy. However, there are many other negative repercussions that come from unemployment. As unemployment rates rise, crime skyrockets. Mental and physical health begins to deteriorate, which leads to an increase in the following: homelessness, suicide, drug and alcohol addiction, child and spousal abuse. It is easy to see unemployment as a ripple effect that sends devastating shockwaves throughout communities.
Recessions and their effect on unemployment. The effects of recession on unemployment are just the different levels of employment at the beginning and the end of the main recessionary period. A recession not only creates a drop in employment, but also puts a hold on the creation of new jobs. To cut economic costs, companies will begin to lay off workers at the beginning of a recession in an effort to minimize the economical burden the company will experience. Reemploying new employees is a long process that adds some new challenges due to the complexity of our labor markets and the conditions of a recession.
Unemployment during the COVID-19 pandemic. When the pandemic struck the U.S. in March, the majority of the country went into some sort of lockdown, resulting in businesses being shut down and millions of people losing their jobs. Over 33 million Americans lost their jobs due to the pandemic, and over 100,000 small businesses have shut down since the start of the pandemic. At its peak, the GDP dropped nearly 33%, which was the worst contraction in American economic history.
Unemployment relief during COVID. The CARES Act, signed into law by President Donald Trump on March 27, 2020, gives states the option of extending unemployment compensation to individual contractors and other workers who are ordinarily ineligible for unemployment benefits. On March 18th, President Trump signed into law the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, which provided additional flexibility for state unemployment insurance agencies and additional administrative funding to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. To receive unemployment insurance benefits, you need to file a claim with the Unemployment Insurance Program in the state where you work. Depending on the state, claims may be filed in person, by telephone, or online.
Thank you.